Welcome to the 2021 ASVAB practice test. This test has 25 questions with explained answers that will help you prepare for the test. Now let's get started. Q1. 1 Hertz is defined as A 1 ampere per second, B 1 cycle per second, C 1 volt per second, D 1 coulomb per second. The answer is B. 1 Hertz is defined as 1 cycle per second. A 60 Hz electric current oscillates at 60 cycles per second. Q2. One advantage of alternating current is that it is easy to A. Store, B. Convert into chemical energy, C. Transport through wire, D. Transmit through air. The answer is C. Alternating current travels much further through wire than direct current. Q3. Electric current can travel only through A. Wire, B. Circuit, C. Battery, D. Load. The answer is B. Without a circuit, electrons cannot travel, so there is no electric current. Q4. Copper is used in most electric wires because it is A. A semiconductor, B. Not likely to heat up during normal usage, C. A good resistor and inexpensive, D. A good conductor and inexpensive. The answer is D. Copper is a good conductor and inexpensive. Choice B, while true, is not the whole answer, as it also applies, for example, to gold. Q5. Amperes are a measure of A. The number of electrons moving through a conductor, B. Electrical pressure, C. A material's ability to store electric current, D. The total resistance of a series circuit. The answer is A. Amperes measure the number of electrons moving through a conductor. Q6. Ohms are a measure of A. Capacitance, B. Resistance, C. Current, D. Cycles per second. The answer is B. Ohms are a measure of resistance. Q7. If amperes equals volts, ohms, then volts equals A, B, C, D. The answer is D. Using algebra, multiply both sides by ohms. You should get volts equals amperes times ohms. Q8. A circuit with 20 amperes has a load of 12 ohms. What is the voltage? A. 60, B. 120, C. 240, D. 24. The answer is C. Volts equals amperes times ohms equals 20 times 12 equals 240. Q9. If the resistance of a circuit is 0, the circuit is A. An open circuit, B. A short circuit, C. A superconductor circuit, D. A semiconductor circuit. The answer is B. This circuit will have a dangerously high current and may burn up or cause a fire. It should trip a circuit breaker or blow a fuse before too much damage occurs. Q10. If a transformer raises the voltage, it will A. Raise the resistance, B. Reduce the resistance, C. Raise the amperage, D. Reduce the amperage. The answer is D. The overall amount of power does not change. Power equals amperes times volts. So if voltage rises, amperage must fall. Q11. Which of these devices depends on the close relationship between electricity and magnetism? A. Transformer, B. Electromagnet, C. Electric motor, D. All of the above. The answer is D. In a transformer, electricity is converted into magnetism and back into electricity. In an electromagnet, electricity is converted into magnetism. In an electric motor, electromagnets create a repulsive force that causes the rotor to spin. Q12. If you are soldering two wires, you need solder. A. Heat and flux, B. And heat, C. And flux, D. Flux and electrical tape. The answer is A. Heat alone will not do the job, because the wires will start to corrode when you heat them. The solder does not adhere to corrosion. Q13. When connecting wires in the house, the bare copper wire is sometimes replaced by the A. The black wire. B. The white wire. C. The hot wire. D. Conduit. The answer is D. Conduit, either flexible or rigid, provides a safe return path for electricity in many wiring systems. Q14. To hook up an electric heater, you need A. 3 supply wires. B. 4 supply wires. C. Heavy supply wires. D. No supply wires. The answer is C. Heaters use high current, which demands heavy wires. Q15. In most home wiring, the hot wire is A. Black. B. Blue. C. Green. D. White. The answer is A. Black is the most common color for hot wires, although red and blue are sometimes used. Q16. To control a light from each end of a hallway, you would install A. 2 single-pole switches. B. 1 4-way switch. C. 1 3-way switch. D. 2 3-way switches. The answer is D. 3-way switches are used in pairs to control one light from 2 locations. Q17. At 120 volts, a 15 ampere circuit will carry power than a 20 ampere circuit. A. More. B. Less. C. First less, then more. D. First more, then less. The answer is B. Amperes equals volts times power. Voltage does not change, so fewer amperes will carry less power. Q18. To connect a battery properly, you must A. Observe proper polarity. B. Get the right voltage. C. Both A and B. D. Be certain the battery is chemical-free. The answer is C. Both the polarity and the voltage must be correct for a battery to work right. Q19. When you are making an electrical connection to a large battery, A. Never tighten the terminal. B. Tighten the terminal, then back off 1 turn. C. Use salt water to prevent corrosion. D. Tighten the terminal securely. The answer is D. Loose electrical connections can cause fire or equipment damage. Choice C, salt water, is wrong because it will cause corrosion, reducing conductivity across the connection. Q20. If you need to reduce the voltage in a certain part of a circuit, you could use A capacitor. B. Transistor. C. Resistor. D. Inductor. The answer is C. A resistor reduces voltage. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to share this video with your friends and subscribe for more practice tips.